Hi, villaging friends, and welcome to my channel. If you're new here, don't forget to like and subscribe, and if you're a return viewer, thank you for coming on back by. Today, we're going to be taking a look at the Department 56 Lit Ghost. Now, I really do enjoy these. They are about 3 inches tall, they're a resin figure, and they're absolutely beautiful, with a couple of exceptions. The first is they're just a little too close together for me, so placing them in my villager vignette, I could extend the wire, but that leads to problem number 2, the hyper white LED. So come join me as I tear these down and rewire them and show you a couple of different lighting options along the way. Let's get ready to take a look at the Lit Ghost by Department 56. Now, this has been something that's been on my list to not only purchase, but to change for a really long time. Now, each one of these, of course, is in the traditional styrofoam packaging from Department 56. I do wish they'd move away from this stuff, as it's just so not environmentally friendly, and it just flakes and makes a big mess. There are other options out there, but here we have our Ghost. They're out of their little baggies, and these things look great, but look at how short this is. This is about 8 inches, maybe? It's not very long. Now, each one of these has a felt bottom, but pressing my fingers around it, it feels hollow. So this should be a pretty easy breakdown. We've got some glue and the wire coming out, so this might be salvageable on the electronics. It might not. There's definitely a resistor right here at the very end of this circuit where it connects up to the pigtail, which is a classic design. Let's break them down. This should be a relatively easy breakdown today, so we're just going to be using a hairdryer on high heat. We're going to heat up these felt pads on the bottom because they're just simply sticking to them. Each of the Ghosts I felt around these black pads with my finger, and this is a hollow cavity. So this is just basically a felt sticker covering up the hole where the electronics are. I want to use a hook pick tool to try to work in underneath this and work it out. Now this one's coming off really easily, so that is wonderful. There's a little bit of residue left, not a big deal. Now this is interesting. The overall design on this is using a wooden dowel that basically is a toothpick with a LED attached to it. That explains one of the problems that I have with this particular piece. Looking at this picture of one of the Lit Ghosts, you can see in the very center a hot spot of light. So we have this basic cylinder of light that goes all the way around the figure, and it's not evenly dispersed between the top and the bottom. This is something I've really never liked about this particular piece, and that's something we're absolutely going to be correcting today. This Ghost too is wired up just like the other one, so we have basically a wooden dowel where the LED resides on in the center. This explains why the LED light is up so high. And additionally, they used a barrel LED, which is an interesting choice. So I'll go ahead and break this remaining one down. It's going to be the exact same. After removing all of the felt and the glue, I've run into a little bit of problem of breaking these down. And what they've done in the construction is the wooden dowel or toothpick that goes between the ends of this is epoxied in place. Some of the wires have epoxy on it as well, so I'm trying to heat and pull those wires out, and it's just causing damage. So I'm going to take the total carnage path on this. We're just going to rip these out, and I'm going to do all new wiring and go from there. As for the dowels that are in there because of that epoxy resin, I'm going to be using a Dremel tool to get those out. You could use a burr bit. Today I'm actually using kind of more of a cone bit to drill these out. And I'm going to try to open up those channels a little bit to make sure all the additional epoxy is removed, all any additional hot glue left behind is removed, and of course there's no debris from the previous wooden dowel or toothpick. For those curious about the bits, I'll be sure to link those in the video description below. Once I get everything taken out of these, I'm just going to use my hook pick tool to clean out these channels. I want to make sure they're good and clean because when I put the wiring back, I'm also going to be using another dowel, very similar to what was done before. Let's take a look at some of the LED options.
Well, the breakdown of the Ghost is done, and there was that wonderful surprise of needing a Dremel tool to get through the epoxy for that dowel or toothpick that holds the LED in the center of the Ghost. That I didn't see coming. But now let's talk about our LED options for the Ghost. Today I have mocked up 4 different versions, and we're going to be taking a look at those and going over them in detail in just a moment. So things to look forward to are the Swamp Ghost, the Sorrowful Ghost, the Scooby-Doo inspired Ghost, and of course our classic Ghost. So let's take a look at these 4 LED options for these figures.
Let's start with the first markup being the Swamp Ghost, using a 3-volt power source. This is comprised of 2 3mm green flickering LEDs. Each one of these LEDs has a 1 ohm 0.25 watt plus or minus 5% resistor. Now let's look at the Sorrowful Ghost. Using a 3-volt power source, this is comprised of 2 3mm blue flickering LEDs. Each LED has a 1 ohm 0.25 watt plus or minus 5% resistor. I'll be sure to link these LEDs in the video description below. So now let's take a look at our Scooby-Doo inspired Ghost. Using a 3-volt power source, this is comprised of 1 3mm blue flickering LED and 1 3mm green flickering LED. Each LED has a 1 ohm 0.25 watt plus or minus 5% resistor. Now let's look at one of my favorites, the classic Ghost. Using a 3-volt power source, this is comprised of 2 warm white breathing LEDs. Each LED has a 1 ohm 0.25 watt plus or minus 5% resistor. Now that you've seen all the options, this is going to be the one chosen to complete today's project. So I'm going to show you how I make these lights for these particular Ghosts. Now I already have the one that I mocked up that you saw earlier, so I already have one of the 3 done. And this is just the 2 LEDs, the resistors. They're twisted off to one side. The other side is the negative leg, at which point I have it connected up to some 30 gauge braided wire. I'll be sure to link that in the video description below. And a DC jack for a Department 56 piece. I could have used the pigtail that came with the original lights when I did this. However, when I mocked up the 4 sets of lights, I really didn't know which one I was ultimately going to choose. Later on, if I wanted to, I could remove this DC jack and use the one with the pigtail if I really wanted to, but I don't really see a reason. From this point, because I already have the DC jack connected, I'm going to be adding additional wire onto both the positive and the negative leg. These are the wires that are going to feed to the next light. And this just kind of be a rinse and repeat to the 3rd light as well. I'm going to show you how I get one of the LEDs ready to go for the next set in this circuit. Now I'm wiring absolutely everything in parallel, which means they're going to get their own individual resistors. So I have bent the anode, or the positive leg of the LED, at a 90-degree angle at the base. Wrap the resistor around it, giving it a little space hanging down. You don't want it directly flush against the anode. A little bit of flux, a little bit of solder, and then trimming. Now the reason I say you don't want that resistor directly against the anode is because you want to be able to still bend it out at 90 degrees. If you have it directly against, you're not going to be able to do that. It's going to be at a weird angle. Now I'll just cover it with a little bit of heat shrink, and I have an LED that's ready to go. So here's one that I've already done, and the process is really simple. I'm pinching the cathodes, which is the negative leg of the LED, together, and I'm twisting it. While I'm doing this, the LEDs are separated a bit at the top by my fingernail. Now, I'm just going to come over to the positive side of this and twist these leads from the resistors together. This is all going to get trimmed down later, but right now, this is my perfect working space. Before I wire in these LEDs, I'm going to work with them just a little bit with my fingers to kind of shape them and point them in the general direction that I'm going to want to illuminate the Ghost. The reason for this is they're going to be sitting on a wooden dowel, aka toothpick in my instance, and I want to make sure that when I'm mounting these, I already have a good angle to go. And these LEDs are now ready to be connected up to the existing circuit, where we're going to take the leads that we soldered on to the first LED, connect them to the second LED. But as we're doing this, we're going to go ahead and introduce the next set of leads to the final ghost. When connecting your wiring to the LEDs that are twisted together in this particular manner, we want to make sure we're connecting the wire as close to the center as possible. And the reason for this is we're going to be trimming eventually. So you don't want to make the solder point connections at the very ends of your anode or cathode because they might get trimmed off. Right now, having this excess in place is very handy just to allow everything to be put together and go from there. So as you can see, that one's trimmed off. Everything's covered in heat shrink. The circuit will be secure. I'll rinse and repeat this process for the positive leg as well. So one thing that I haven't mentioned is very important is make sure you put your heat shrink onto your wire before you strip it back. The reason being, this is braided wire. If you strip the sheathing off the braided wire and then put on your heat shrink, there's a high likelihood that you may catch one of the strands of wire. And if that isn't caught and secured in place properly, that could cause a short later on. After a short little while, in my case about 20 minutes, this is what my circuit is starting to look like. So right at the very tail end of this, getting the last leg just trimmed off, heat shrink in place, at which point we'll do a little bit of power on testing and then get ready to do the install. Well, it's time to test our lights and verify they are good to go so we can get on with the installation. Perfect. All three sets are working perfectly fine. See all that distance in between? It's going to be real nice. Putting this in the base, this already looks better. That original hot spot that I had mentioned that I really disliked about that original hyper white is completely gone now. You can't even see it. And it's partially because I will be mounting these LEDs significantly lower and the fact there is a second LED. Now for the mounting, today I just have 3 toothpicks right off the kitchen table. Considering what was there before was pretty much of the same consistency as a toothpick, we're going to be using these today and cutting them down to size with a pair of clippers or dikes and working the LEDs around them. Now with this, I want to make sure that the LEDs can sit on top of the toothpick and have plenty of extra room for all the wires, the resistors, and everything else that's going to be into the bottom of these ghosts. Now keep in mind the channels for the wiring on all of the ghosts, they're quite deep. So we have a lot of clearance to work here. Now positioning the LEDs in place, now that I like this positioning, we're going to use a little bit of low temp hot glue to secure them to the toothpick. Doesn't take a whole lot, just a couple dabs here or there. I want this to dry really quickly. And this is more or less just to kind of tack it in place while we're doing the install. Well, the glue is mostly ready to go, so we'll go ahead and just snip off the ends of our toothpick and get ready to install our first set into this ghost. Now all the ghosts are the same when it comes for mounting. They all have the same opening and closing. These are just a mass-produced piece by Department 56. So if you get a bunch of these, you could make a really long string of ghosts. Just putting that out there. Now, working these LEDs in at the bottom, I've got a little bit of adjustment to make, but not a whole lot. I want to make sure that there's no weird hot spots like there were before, because that literally drove me nuts. And this looks phenomenal, in my opinion. The installation of this is going to be really simple. So just a little bit of low temp hot glue in each of the channels on each side of the ghost. Then we're going to take our LEDs that are attached to our toothpick and place them gently down into that glue. I really don't want them to sink all the way down if I can keep from it. I prefer this be kind of more of a level surface and the LEDs be as low as possible in the figure. By maintaining this low angle, you have a much better light distribution on these pieces. While the glue is setting up, I'm going to make sure that the wires are not bound, everything looks good, it's flush, and just hold this in place until the glue fully sets up. Now you may be wondering why I chose this particular wire, the black and the red. I plan on hiding all the electric under matting later on, so it's not going to be a big deal. Now in this instance, with this particular ghost, I had a little bit of excess toothpick that I just clipped off. I think that's the only one I'm going to have an issue with. But this is going to be a rinse and repeat process, so just to go through it one more time. Mount the LEDs to a toothpick. Then do a quick dry fitting of the LEDs in the base of the ghost and adjust the LEDs angles as necessary to avoid any weird light distribution or hotspots. Trim off any excess toothpick and additional wiring from the twisted leads. Then do one last dry fitting of the LEDs just to make sure everything is still good to go before you fill those channels with low temp hot glue and place our mounted LEDs into it. Once all of our Ghosties have their LEDs mounted into it, the last piece is just to simply run a small bead of low temp hot glue around the opening and replace the original felt pads. In this case, I'm just going to be putting the old ones right back on. Smush the bottom of the Ghostie on the table to smooth everything out, ensure it's level, then move on to the next one. Now, let's look at our final review. Let's take a quick look at the before with the original barrel hyper white LEDs with hotspots and uneven light distribution. And now, the after. The classic warm white breathing effect really brings these Ghosties to life for me. Now, the Scooby-Doo inspired effect was a strong contender for #1 as well. Definitely be revisiting that in the future.
Well, that's a wrap on the Lit Ghost by Department 56. You'll have to let me know in the comments, what did you think of my choice of the warm white breathing LEDs versus the green for the Swamp Ghost, or the blue for the Sorrow Ghost, or the blue-green for the Scooby-Doo Vibe Ghost? I had so much fun rewiring these, and this is a really simple and easy project that anybody can take on. All in all, it only is going to take about 30 minutes to redo these. So let me know in the comments, is this something that you would have taken on? I would love to hear from you, and I welcome the conversation. Now, these will definitely be used in a couple of vignettes that will be upcoming from me, so be on the lookout to see them again in the very near future. So thank you again if you have made it this far through the video. I greatly appreciate the viewership. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and until next time, keep on villaging!
Thanks for watching my video on the Lit Ghost by Department 56, Lighting Reimagined. If you like this video, check out some of my other videos from platform creation to vignettes to creative challenge, lighting reimaginings, and so much more. If you made it this far, thank you again so much for your viewership. I greatly appreciate it. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and share this video with 50 of your friends. Until next time, keep on villaging!